guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Camilla, and today we are watching Chernobyl, the last episode. If you haven't been here before, I do reactions, gaming, and vlogs. You should totally hit the subscribe button if that's something for you. I have done reactions to all of the episodes of Chernobyl so far, so you should totally check those one out before you watch this one. I hope you will enjoy this reaction. Remember, I also do movie reactions, and there will be reactions to Obi-Wan Kenobi and Arcane as well. If you'd like to connect, you can find me on all social platforms. If you'd like to watch the full reaction, it's over on Patreon. Thank you guys so much for clicking in, and let's be watching the last episode of Chernobyl. Things are looking and feeling very normal here. Okay, yeah, I was wondering. I was like, how are people living here?
This little problem we have with the safety test, if it's completed successfully, yes, I think promotion's very likely. Naturally, they'll put me in charge once it's gone, and then I'll need someone to take my old job.
I would like to be considered.
We'll keep that in mind. Comrade Dyatlov's been working per my instructions, and Reactor 4 output's been reduced to 1600 megawatts. With your approval, we're ready to continue lowering power to...
You have to wait. Are you going to ask me if there's a problem, Nikolai? You can't read a fucking face. 3 years I've tried to finish this test. 3 years.
Understandable.
I've just had a call from the grid controller in Kiev. He says we can't lower power any further, not for another 10 hours.
If we need to wait 10 hours, we wait.
We'll maintain at 1600. I'll go home, get some sleep, come back tonight. We'll proceed then.
Chernobyl. It's always kind of sad when there's like the last episode.
You went to the doctor yesterday. How is your health?
You don't know?
From Vienna. It says, at last, a Soviet scientist who tells the truth. I resent the insinuation, but I think it's fair to say you made an excellent impression at the conference. Turns out you're quite good at this. That Chernobyl was solely the result of operator error, which it essentially was.
Hero of the Soviet Union.
Our highest honor. They haven't even given it to me. I don't think there's anything humble about you, Valery Alexeyevich. These rewards are not yours yet.
You gave us assurances. The reactors would be made safe.
Oh, it's starting. It's starting.
So, why are you here?
Because I'm brutally stubborn, which you were hoping for.
Chokov is saying they're going to fix the reactors after the trial.
The state will never willingly fix the reactors because acknowledging the problem means admitting that they lied. They will have to be forced. At the trial, you're going to tell the truth. You're going to convince a jury. They will be sitting in the crowd listening to every word you say. That is when our jury will finally hear the truth. Because you're Valery Legasov and you mean something.
True. You're important.
If I spoke,
They will shoot me. Khomyuk.
Yeah, that might happen too.
you told me to find out what happened. Every word they said, I wrote down, all in these books. These are the ones who are still alive. These are the ones who are dead. They died rescuing each other, putting out fires, tending to the wounded. They didn't hesitate. They didn't waver. They simply did what had to be done.
So have I. I went willingly to an open reactor. So I've already given my life. Isn't that enough?
No, I'm sorry, but it is not.
Damn. I didn't expect to like care for the characters as much as I do, or like the people. But even though it's only 5 episodes, you get an emotional connection to them and you understand what is happening and it all makes sense.
Indictments. Viktor Brukhanov, Anatoly Dyatlov, Nikolai Fomin are accused of violating Article 220, Section 2 of the Criminal Code of the Soviet Union, resulting in a nuclear disaster on April 26, 1986. The state calls witnesses Comrade Khomyuk, Comrade Legasov, and Comrade Boris Yevdokimovich Sherbina.
It began with, of all things, a safety test. Why was there need for a safety test at all? Reactor number 4 was not new when the accident occurred. And 11 days later, on the last day of the year, Plant Director Viktor Brukhanov signed this document, certifying completion of the construction of the reactor. But the work was not finished. Now, this document was a lie. Generates heat in the core here. A series of pumps here and here send a constant flow of cooling water through the core. The core's heat turns the water to steam, and the steam spins the turbine here, and the result is electricity. But what if a power plant has no power? If there's no power, pumps cannot move water through the core, and without water, the core overheats, fuel melts down, a nuclear disaster. And by that time, it would be too late. Then the turbines are turned off as they slowly spin down. Their electrical output is measured to see if it's enough to power the pumps. The fourth time they tried was April 26, 1986.
To understand what happened that night, we have to go back 10 hours earlier, April 25th, the day the test was meant to take place. They are asking for a 10-hour delay. This is the first critical moment, the first link in the chain of disaster. These three men allowed it to proceed. Why was this delay so dangerous? It created two problems. At midnight, there is a shift change.
She's so good at her job.
They couldn't do it on the day shift, so they've given it to us.
To us? We don't know what it is.
It's fine. We take it down to 700, hold it there. The rest is study at Chuck and Kirschenbaum, but supervising.
I have to do something I've never done before with Dyatlov looking over my shoulder.
Yes, in the program there's instructions of what to do, and then there's a lot of things crossed out. What should I?
Been cleared to run the test. Now, is it too much to ask that you all know what you're doing?
Well, yes, absolutely.
Stelyachuk?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Kirschenbaum, we only just found out we're...
There, review it. Or you can just do what I tell you. I think even you, stupid as you are, can manage that. Well, let's go.
Wow.
Topped and off. Reduce power to 700.
I've never done. Reducing power to 700?
I want you to think of Yuri Gagarin. I want you to imagine that he has been told nothing of his mission into space until the moment that he is on the launch pad. This is exactly what was happening in the control room of Reactor 4. And his total experience on the job? 4 months.
I'm pleased to see some of my colleagues here from the Kurchatov Institute and Minenergo. But you don't need to be a nuclear scientist to understand what happened at Chernobyl. The reactivity which generates power either goes up or it goes down. As uranium atoms split apart and collide, reactivity goes up. They reduce reactivity like brakes on a car. Cool water takes heat out of the system. As it does, it turns to steam, or what we call a void. That the more steam present within the system, the higher the reactivity, which means more heat, which means more steam, which means it would appear we have a vicious cycle on our hands. Fuel increases reactivity. Control rods and water reduce it. Steam increases it. The rise in temperature reduces it.
He is so good at explaining
Uranium splits
things.
apart to release energy. Xenon reduces reactivity. If you can't understand how a stalled nuclear reactor could lead to an explosion, I don't blame you. As it turned out, the men who didn't understand it either.
Ease it down to 700. Whoa, slow.
I didn't move any rods there. I'm not even touching it.
It's just going down by itself now. Hey, that's how it happens. You lose control because of no balance.
LAC disabled, global control activated.
What did you do? Fucking amateurs, you stalled the reactor. How the fuck did you get this job?
Comrade Dyatlov.
You're gonna tell me that you did everything right again, you incompetent arsehole?
I hate that guy so much.
We have to shut all the way down.
No.
Well, we could be in a xenon pit. We have to shut down and wait 24 hours.
No, we're doing the test tonight. Raise power to 700.
Well, I apologize, but what you're saying makes no sense.
See, if I say it's safe, it's safe. And if the two of you disagree, then you don't have to work here. I wasn't even there. I wasn't in the room when they raised the power.
If you weren't
And now he's lying?
You are a witness, not a prosecutor. I will ask the questions here. If you weren't in the room, then where were you?
The toilet.
The toilet. Comrade Khamyuk interviewed everyone who was in the control room that night. They all told the same story. I knew what Dyatlov ordered was wrong, but if I didn't do what he said, I would be fired. Leonid Toptonov, 1 day before he died.
You good at your job
Dyatlov
too.
were in the room. He ordered them to raise the power. This is a fact.
Yep. I hate that guy.
Court is now in recess, 30 minutes.
Oh, there's gonna be blood on that. They were exposed for way too long.
If you know anything about this town, it was mostly Jews and Poles. The Jews were killed in pogroms, and Stalin forced the Poles out. And then the Nazis came, killed whoever was left. But after the war, people came to live here anyway. They knew the ground under their feet was soaked in blood, but they didn't care. No one ever thinks it's going to happen to them. And here we are.
How much time?
Maybe a year. They call it a long illness. It doesn't seem very long to me. I know you told me and I believed you. Time passed and I thought it wouldn't happen to me. I wasted it. I wasted it all for nothing.
For nothing?
I don't believe much that comes out of the Kremlin, but when they told me they were putting me in charge of the cleanup, and they said it wasn't serious, I believed them. I'm an inconsequential man, Valera. That's all I've ever been. I hoped that one day I would matter, but I didn't. I just stood next to people who did.
Everything we asked for, everything we needed. Men, material, lunar rovers. Who else could have done these things? They heard me, but they listened to you. Entire congregation, obedient fools. They mistakenly sent the one good man. God's sakes, Boris. You were the one who mattered most.
That's what I'm saying. You get a connection to them.
The time is 38 past midnight. The reactor is nearly shut down. The operators of Reactor 4 are locked on a path that leads directly to disaster. There's no way to turn back. They do not yet know it, but the die is cast. The reactor is drowning in poison. To make matters worse, the reactor isn't hot enough to produce sufficient steam. Dyatlov wants it done now. They begin pulling control rods out. Akimov and Toptonov completely withdrew 205. Remember, only 6 now remain in the reactor. The best they can do is raise the power to 200 megawatts. The emergency system has been disconnected. The only thing keeping the reactor in check is water and xenon. It's 1 in the morning. The test is minutes away.
I'm sorry. This is all we can get.
That's all we have, that's all we have.
You have no idea what you're doing.
Steam in the separator drum is too low, 5 atmospheres.
All right, let's all help him. Get it up as best you can.
The problem they were facing was not solvable. The power was too low, the water was too high. But Dyatlov didn't care. All he wanted to do was report a completed test. None of them have been told about the test. None of them know what is about to happen. 1:23 and 4 seconds. With every decision, they have pulled this reactor back like a slingshot, further than anyone has ever pulled. The balance immediately swings in the opposite direction. In less than a second, reactivity increases. Steam increases reactivity, increases heat, increases steam, increases reactivity.
What did you do? 1:23 and 40 seconds. In every control room of every nuclear reactor in the world, there is a button with one single purpose: scram or instantly shut down the reaction. In Soviet reactors, that button is called AZ5.
What are you waiting for, Legasov? Tell your lies.
Comrade Dyatlov, you will not be warned again.
Or what? For God's sake, Dyatlov. You are, Valery Alexeyevich, you're a liar.
Heard enough for today.
He is the liar?
Court will...
I haven't finished.
I'll punch this guy.
I have no evidence to give.
It's not necessary. Your testimony is concluded.
Let him finish.
Comrade Sabina.
Let him finish.
Exactly.
Dyatlov broke every rule we have. The fully withdrawn control rods begin moving back into the reactor. The tips are made of graphite, which accelerates reactivity. For the same reason, we are the only nation that builds water-cooled, graphite-moderated reactors. It's cheaper. Control rod and fuel channel caps, which each weigh 350 kilograms, are jumping up and down. We do not know how high the power went. We only know the final reading. Reactor 4, designed to operate at 3,200 megawatts, went beyond 33,000. 1:23:45, explosion. In the instant the lid is thrown off the reactor, oxygen rushes in. It combines with hydrogen and superheated graphite. The chain of disaster is now complete. No one in the room that night knew the shutdown button could act as a detonator. They didn't know it because it was kept from them.
Comrade Legasov, you're contradicting your own testimony in Vienna.
The testimony in Vienna was a lie. I'm not the only one who kept the secrets. There are many following orders.
Professor Legasov, if you mean to suggest the Soviet state is somehow responsible for what happened, then I must warn you, you're treading on dangerous ground.
I've
Of course they are.
on dangerous ground. We're on dangerous ground right now. When the truth offends, we lie and lie until we can no longer remember it is even there, but it is still there. Every lie we tell incurs a debt to the truth. Sooner or later, that debt is paid. That is how an RBMK reactor core explodes. Lies.
Fatal flaws.
Valery Alexeyevich Legasov. In that position, you limited the promotion of Jewish scientists.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I can do anything I want with you. But what I want the most is for you to know that I know. You're not brave. You're not heroic.
I think that was pretty brave.
You're just a dying man who forgot himself.
I know who I am. I know what I've done. In a just world, I'd be shot for my lies, but not for this, not for the truth.
And your idiot obsession with reasons.
Oh my
When the
god.
bullet hits your skull, what will it matter? Why? Your testimony today will not be accepted by the state. It will not be disseminated in the press. It never happened. Your legacy is now their legacy. You'll live long enough to see that.
I'm not even surprised.
What role did Shabina play in this?
None. He didn't know what I was going to say. Think a man of your experience would know a lie when he hears one.
You will not meet or communicate with either one of them ever again. You will not communicate with anyone about Chernobyl ever again. That when you finally do die, it will be exceedingly hard to know that you ever lived at all.
I refuse.
Why worry about something that isn't going to happen?
There's so many people that I really do hate. They make my blood boil. Oh, look at them.
The truth doesn't care about our needs or wants. It doesn't care about our governments, our ideologies, our religions. It will lie in wait for all time. And this, at last, is the gift of Chernobyl. Where I once would fear the cost of truth, now I only ask, what is the cost of lies?
Wow. Wait, she wasn't a real person? Wait, they said he only had a year. 10 years? Oh, bless you. Oh, God bless. What? Oh yeah, temporary. Wow. Just, oh my goodness. Oh boy. We just finished another TV show here on my channel. Thank you for watching together with me. Wow. I felt so connected with the characters at the end, or the people. The acting was so good. And they made everything seem so real because everything was so big, and like the buildings, explosion. I love the casting. They even made like Gorbachev look like himself. And I didn't even know the Homyuk. Is that how you say her name? Homyuk? I didn't know that she wasn't a real person, but that was like many people made as one. And then Boris Sherbina went from someone you despise, or I despise, and then he turned into this person that I empathized so much with. And I think that Boris also did something about, I feel like I've read this before, but I think that he had to, or was sent to deal with an earthquake, or not the actual earthquake, but like the consequences of an earthquake. I think it was in Armenia, and they said like you only have 1 year, and he was there for 4 years, and he helped out in other cases. And it's like, I can't explain it. Thank you guys so much for watching this together with me. I really want to thank the people that recommended it when my channel was so small. It was much easier to see the recommendations of TV shows and movies back then, but now I have like thousands of recommendations and I absolutely appreciate that, but it feels like I don't have the time to watch everything. But to the people that recommended this one, thank you. I really wanted to know more about the story, and I feel like everyone should watch this show. Absolutely. If you haven't watched Chernobyl and you want to watch it yourself, you can watch it over on HBO. That's where I watched it. If you'd like to watch my full reaction together with me while you're watching it, it will be over on Patreon. Thank you guys so much for watching together with me. I really truly do appreciate it. If you'd like to connect, you can find me on all social media. They will be linked down below. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye guys.